Namaste people from the top of the world, Nepal. This is me Pushkar and I'm here with a new video under Facts of Nepal series from Troopers. Troopers, a travel company based in Nepal, helps provide information about the beautiful country Nepal and arranges the various kind of journey as per your requirement across the country. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the architecture of Nepal from old days to the present. By architecture, I mean the art of building houses, temples, palaces, forts and so on. Nepal is a beautiful country, blessed not just with the natural beauty, but also with the gifted artisans who have made the country even more beautiful with their artistic talent. One can discover the magnificence of Nepali architecture while strolling around the historic town of Kathmandu Valley. The traditional Nepali architecture is noted for its originality and can be remarked as fusion of both Hindu and Buddhist religion. Talking about the history of Nepali architecture, it goes back to as far as the prehistoric period. The earliest architecture in Kathmandu Valley has faded with history. However, record reveals that Litchavi period from 4th to 9th century AD in the history of Nepal was a golden age. The architecture at that time was said to be great, but no such structure is found at present. The glorious part of Nepali traditional architecture happened during Malla dynasty between the 13th and 18th century AD. And in that time, Kathmandu Valley get three distinct Darbar Square: Kathmandu Darbar Square, Bhaktapur Darbar Square and Patan Darbar Square. However, the great age of traditional Nepali architecture come to a dramatic end when King Prithvinarayan Shah invaded the valley in 1769 AD. We can broadly classify the traditional Nepali architecture in three different styles: Pagoda, Shikhara and Stupa Style. Number 1. Pagoda Style. The main feature of the pagoda architecture is a tiered roof in which the roof gets narrower from lower to the higher and the top is usually bell-shaped pinnacle, also known as gajur. The ground on which the building is made is a little raised with some carved steps decorated by images on both sides. According to the historical facts, the pagoda style was introduced in Nepal. It is believed that Nepali architect Araniko kick-started the introduction and reinterpretation of pagoda in China and Eastern Asia when he brought the design to the court of Kublai Khan in the late 13th century. Numerous temples, both large and small, spread throughout the Kathmandu Valley and beyond are in pagoda style. Number 2. Shikhara Style. The Shikhara style is a fine traditional architecture and so named because of their tapering towers resembling with shikhar, that is mountain. The Shikhara style temple was initially introduced by the Guptas in the 6th century. It was later introduced to Nepal by the Litchavi dynasty. Krishna Mandir of the Patan is the best example of this style. Number 3. Stupa Style. The Stupa is a Buddhist style of architecture and is supposed to have been introduced in Nepal by Emperor Ashoka. In this style of architecture, a hemispherical dome with a broad base is topped by a square base supporting a series of circular rings narrowing at the top and crowned by parasol. The four piers of square base are painted with the piers of mystic all-seeing eyes. Symbolically, the stupa embodies a complex range of iconographic meanings, with each of its component representing a specific aspect of path to enlightenment. Swayambhunath and Bauddhanath are the excellent example of stupa style. These are the general classification of traditional Nepali architecture. We can still discover this magnificent medieval architecture at every turn of historic town of Nepal. It was after the invasion of Shah King in Kathmandu Valley, the innovative spirit of earlier centuries disappeared. However, traditional arts and craft continued to receive patronage. But over the time, Rana came into power and Nepali architecture took a turn towards the modern silhouette. During their era, the architect was profoundly influenced by the fashion of 19th century Europe. Singhadarbar, Kesar Mahal, Rani Mahal, Kantagar, Gaddi Baithak are the buildings built at that period. The trend of making architectural changes in Rana and Shah rulers is the first step towards the modern architecture of Nepal. The contemporary changes with a huge Western influence are popular in general house blocks and building construction style. Modern development is influenced by the European style. However, the trend of making hotels and houses in heritage style is also growing. For the preservation and conservation of heritage, the government of Nepal is also positive and working to reconstruct the heritage in same style, preserving monuments with sustainable practice. With this, I come to the end of this episode. I hope you got some information about the architecture of Nepal. I will be back again the next week with new facts, so keep connecting with us. And lastly, I request you to like, share and comment the video. Thank you for watching till the end. Dhanyavad.